And it's with that individual attention and hard work on the part of neighbors and residents throughout the community, throughout the diverse neighbors in the community, that are going to make a difference in the work that we do. My name is Brian Cummins, and I am currently the elected official, the duly elected official for Ward 15. That Ward 15 has been redistricted basically into 4 different jurisdictional areas, and I'm going to be living in the new Ward 14, live on Mapledale Avenue in the western section of Brooklyn Center. I'm 49 years old, and I have 30 years of experience that I think really has helped shape how I got to where I am and what I want to do if I become the next councilman for the new Ward 14. Just to briefly go through that so you understand my experience, which I think is very directly related and very important in terms of who takes over this position. I'll go way back, fresh out of high school, and while I was in college working in retail and factory jobs. Those included even, working my way up fairly rapidly through several organizations, including retail and restaurant industry, and was also at the Cotton Club Bottling Factory, where I was also a union member of the Local 1164. I worked then after college, graduating for a finance degree in banking, and then after 6 years at National City Bank, went on a 9-year odyssey with Peace Corps. It was very thrilling, very rewarding. I worked in the Dominican Republic for 3 years as a volunteer with my wife Gail as a married couple, and then also went on to be the assistant director for administration in Russia and in Moldova overseas as well, all working within the realm of community development. I came back to Cleveland in 2001 permanently and began working at the Local Development Corporation in Old Brooklyn. I did that for 4 years, as well as being the editor and publisher of the Old Brooklyn News, the local newspaper, and took office in 2006. The issues that I'm looking at facing and dealing with you are, of course, I think very well known. It's dealing with reduction of crime and improving of safety, jobs and economic development, the improving of the housing conditions, and I will be speaking a little bit today as well in terms of reforming and making more accountable our government, and I'll leave those points for a little later. I do want to mention the endorsements that I've received as well. I've received the endorsement of the Plain Dealer, the local firefighters, Local 93, the EMS, Local 975, AFL-CIO. Very proud to have gotten an endorsement for the United West Side Market Tenants Association, a very strong believer in the importance of small business, as well as the Cleveland Stonewall Democrats and the Green Party of Ohio. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cummins. And as is usually the case, some people have more time left and some people have less time left, but it's the balance of the 6 minutes. Mr. Nagin, you will go first. You have 25 seconds left.
Well, I really don't have anything to rebut. I think that everybody here has been working very hard. All the candidates have been working very hard and are very familiar with the issues from going door to door, whether it's the crime issues or the housing problems. And I just want to express appreciation to my opponents in this race for their hard work and want to wish them the best in their election campaign.
And thank you, Mr. Nagin. Now, Mr. Torres, you have 1 minute and 50 seconds left.
Thank you. John F. Kennedy said that an American by nature is optimistic. He is experimental, an inventor, and a builder who builds best when called to build greatly. Ward 14 is filled with these Americans. We need change and a chance to build, and if I am elected, build we will. As councilman, I'm going to push for the wind turbines on the lake that produce electricity, and I'm going to push to provide that electricity at a rebated cost to companies that are willing to move back into Cleveland and provide employment for the city of Cleveland. We have everything it takes to move forward. We have greatness. We have a history of greatness. We have to reinvent ourselves. The days of the steel mills are gone. The days of the old manufacturing are gone. But we have to find a way to bring back our neighborhoods, to bring back our jobs, to keep the people who are living currently in Ward 14 in their jobs and in their homes. We have to fight for those individuals. We have to look for creative ways of doing that. We have to come in with a fresh slate. I am a fresh slate. I have proven myself at City Hall for 7 years. I have been able to build some great relationships and have worked to achieve some great goals. I don't wear my achievements on my sleeve. I don't, boast too much. But I tell you what, I care about Ward 14 and I care about the city of Cleveland, and I hope I can count on your support.
Thank you, Mr. Torres. And now, Mr. D'Amico, you have 3 minutes and 40 seconds left.
I believe one of the problems in Ward 14 is the lack of voters. There are not enough people in Ward 14 voting. I think in the recall election there was actually 1,246 people that voted. There are 20,000 people in the ward and I believe 10,000 registered voters. Where are all these people? That's one thing I don't understand. One of the things I want to do is get a network of block clubs together to get people to realize that this is the place where they live and they have to make these neighborhoods. It can't just be the councilman. The councilman needs the help from all the people in the ward, and we all have to stick together to make Ward 14 a better place to live. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. D'Amico. And now, Mr. Cintron, you have 3 minutes and 7 seconds.
Thank you. This is a key race, and it's one of the most important races, I think, that is being watched by the media. My question to the voters of Ward 14 is, who will you trust to watch the budget of $1.4 billion in the city of Cleveland? Who will you bring in its major developments through a major recessions into Ward 14? To take care of the crime issues in Ward 14, but throughout the city of Cleveland. To work with the school issues and the high dropout of our students in the Cleveland public school system. Who will you trust? I am that candidate because I know how to lead. I have a track record that I stand proudly behind. And I know that through my track record, I'm able to represent the most diverse community, the diverse ward in the city of Cleveland. I know your needs. I know your wants. I love walking. I have heard your concerns loud and clear, and I'm ready to lead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cintron. And Mr. Cummins, you have 2 minutes for your
Thank you very much.
rebuttal.
Thank you. I think I'd just like to use the remaining part of my time to really talk a little bit about what we talk about on the campaign trail, on people's porches, in terms of trying to represent their concerns. It's true that the problems that we face now are tremendous, but it is also true that the community that we're seeking to represent is very strong, though, and very resilient. There's actually still a tremendous number of people that live in the community that are quite proud of their properties, their families, their participation in the community. And it's overlooked, though, I think, in the sense of that type of proudness and energy is not tapped into. I've demonstrated through my years in Peace Corps and through my last 8 years in working at a community development corporation and representing the community that I've had a very grassroots approach, it being very hands-on with the community, be it in working with block groups or street groups, or, as I'm trying to explain to people, organizing multiple streets, because frankly the problems are great enough and people individually don't have enough time on their own to face those problems. So we need to be creative. We need to utilize the tools in the organizing principles that we've tested and have been proven to work. And I really look forward to continuing the debate today with my colleagues. I do want to make one point of saying that it's disappointing that we did not have a scheduled debate within the ward.